So what about finishes? You had told me one night the story about the wood used in the Stradivarius violins and the chloroform getting leached out.
Well, what happens is that everybody's tried to understand what's going on with the Stradivarius violin and why they sound so good, and there's no doubt that they do. And so a lot of the speculation is around the finish. And there's a professor at Texas A&M that has made his entire livelihood on just trying to understand what's going on with the Stradivarius finish. My theory is, and I kind of read about in this book that was published back in the 1880s, and I don't know if it's true or not, but basically part of that wood was left in salt water, or was intentionally soaked in salt water to keep bugs from eating it. But somehow, some way, it got salt water in it. When the salt water got onto the spruce, it ate everything but the chlorophyll out. And so basically, when you take wood and you remove all the sap out of it, you essentially just have a real nice lattice work of the cell structure left. So that when you put a finish on it, the finish goes into the holes that are left from the sap going out. Everybody knows that old wood sounds better than new wood, and so my theory has always been that what's causing it, is that as the chlorophyll dries out of that's probably not the right word either, but it's dries out of the wood, that allows a place for the lacquer to go, and if the lacquer and the wood become one piece, it sounds better. Every old Martin guitar that you see, and you hold it up to the light, you can see the grain, the ripple of the grain in it. Whereas you go get a brand new one, they're just as smooth as glass. And so my sort of theory has been that over the years, somehow that lacquer has been leaching down into the wood. And so what I've done to speed that process up is that I coat the top of the guitars with a hateful chemical. I'm really sure it's carcinogenic. Something that's like toluene and the mineral spirits and other stuff. You see this little white stuff that's on here? That's that stuff that's dried out of the wood. And so over the years, I leave this in here until I believe I've got as much of that out of there as I can. The first time I put a coat of lacquer on this, you will swear it's never had a coat of lacquer on it. It will suck every bit of it up into the wood, 100% of it into the wood. I'll have to finish this guitar, 13, 14 times before I get the lacquer to set up on the top of it. And so, that's just my theory of what causes the top and the finish, to get into the top. So, anyway, this is another one of my just trying to check stuff out. I don't know if it's right or wrong. I'm really sure there's some luthier up at Martin right now that's just spinning around, mad about this because that's probably wrong. But who knows? I'm just experimenting.
Well, I've sort of noticed that if you ask 10 luthiers how to do something, you'll get about 35 answers.
Yeah, that's the truth there. Yeah, nobody knows the answer. That's why it's such a great mystery, to try to figure out what it is that makes them tick. And I don't know that I've got any special skills in it. It's just that I just want to get into the fray, that's all.